All right, we will now have patron comments. If anybody has anything to address the board with, we ask that you come to the podium. You must speak from the podium, must state your first and last name, you may speak only on agenda items, and you're limited to 3 minutes. The board will not engage in questions or comments. First up, we have, and only the people that signed up that we have can speak. First up, we have Julie Fetch.
I'm Julie Fetch, and a parent of a student who is in the ag program. I am here to support the agriculture program. We would like to know if it is going to be cut without notice. Guidance counselors have gone with students to change their schedules for next year, so the students believe that it is going to be cut. The position also has not been posted, to my knowledge, that I have seen. Closure of this program is a major decision that impacts students, staff, and the community of Steuben County. The ag industry is the biggest economic impact in the county. Ag education is a lifelong lesson for students. Some of these classes are also dual credits, plus the 8th graders are getting 1 high school credit for a semester. FFA is part of the ag education. Students have the opportunity and experience of endless opportunities they will always have. Students get to meet with other students from other districts and even the state if they go to the national conference. Students compete in competitions at many levels for many topics. The use and knowledge of what they learn in class. This is a huge impact on all the students. My son is one of the students who came here to Angola as a freshman. He was shy, and the ag program was like his sport, and FFA was like his sport also. He became to be also the reporter for 3 years and the secretary for 1 year for FFA. The competitions pushed him outside of his comfort zone, where he went on to do public speaking evening. I would not have imagined that he would ever do public speaking. I could have never got it done. But through FFA, the sport of the students and everybody who are like his family got him to get out of his shell and go for it. It would be really sad for him, as he is a senior this year, but it would be sad for him to see his family, the other students who are coming up, to lose this opportunity in this program. It would be really sad to bring it to a close for Angola High School, to see it close and not have it in there, since agriculture is a big industry in this county. I can't even tell you how many parents at this fair, when we do the program or do the meal, have come up and said, we're here to support the FFA and the ag program for the students. My student would never have ever graduated. They stayed, the ag program and FFA kept them in school and made them keep going and pulled them out of their shell and was more outgoing. There was numerous, I can't even count on my hands how many parents have told me that. If you won't reinstate the program or can't, I believe that the students and the staff and the community needs to know the reason why, to at least let this set, than to be dispensed out of nowhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Gavin Fetch.
So I'm currently a senior. I'm graduating this year at Angola High School. And my freshman year, I joined FFA. I was new here. I moved down here from Michigan, and I knew no one here going into my first day of school. So FFA allowed me to meet a lot of people, not just from my school, but like schools across this district, Steuben County, DeKalb, across the state even. And my 4 years in FFA have been a really fun experience, pushing me out of my comfort zone with all the amazing contests that I've participated in. The ag program in Angola High School is very important to a lot of students. I'm sorry. And for me to find out that students who signed up for these classes for next year had to get their schedules changed with no apparent reason why is kind of silly to me. At least there should be a reason to why they will not reinstate a new ag teacher at Angola High School, and we deserve to know a reason why you guys won't. That's all I have to say.
Hi, I'm Amelia Walker. I'm a junior at Angola High School and currently the president for the Angola chapter of FFA. I'm here supporting the AG program. It's a profound program that it changes the lives of students, as you've heard. It prepares students in a way a traditional classroom doesn't, because not everyone is that traditional student who goes to class and they do their work. It just doesn't work for everyone. We know that. So AG classes allow more hands-on and experiential learning for kids, and it's why a lot of kids graduate, because they're not going to graduate through the traditional paths, and we know that, and that's another avenue that they can take and then come out into the community and help build our ag industry and really feed into it. We learn things like public speaking. I can't count the number of presentations I've had to do in ag classes, and it's not even a fear anymore. I go up and I do my presentation because I'm confident in it, because I've done it time and time again. Every week we do public speaking in that class. We also learn other real-world skills, writing resumes that you can tailor to specific jobs you want, cover letters, job applications, things like that. We even do mock interviews to prepare us for what we're going to have to do when we get out there. Additionally, it's a safe place for students that don't fit the traditional mold, and it's not just a group of students, it's a community, it's a family. Every day, we read the pledge at the beginning of the day, and then at the end of it, someone comes on the announcements and they say, Angola High School prepares students with the skills you need to succeed in life. That's great. We would love our school to prepare us, but by cutting ag programs, you're not preparing us. You're leaving us at a disadvantage. Ag program and FFA prepares students, and that's what you guys are trying to do, so cutting it ag doesn't even make sense. Additionally, Angola, you guys have your little motto, which is Angola is a small town, but big opportunities. You're cutting those opportunities. It's not going to be big opportunities. It's going to be limited opportunities if you keep cutting programs like ag and FFA. Thank you.
Clark. Brooke Clark, FFA. I am currently Angola FFA's Vice President. I'm also currently enrolled in the Advanced Animal and Life Science class. This is one of 3 classes offered, plus an agriculture capstone, which for Angola students is an SAE. And if you don't know what an SAE is, it's a supervised agriculture experience. An SAE is a summer experience at the high school and an extracurricular opportunity offered through FFA. Although the course book for Angola High School only offers 3 classes plus a capstone, there are a multitude of other classes that could be provided but are not even listed. On my behalf of Angola FFA and the Angola Agriculture Program, I'm here to present the reason for the Agriculture and FFA program and why it should stay. As we all know, we are losing Nisa Calmi at the end of June to start a program at Fremont. This in turn leaves Angola with no agriculture program, no ag pathway, no ag teacher, which means no FFA. You have to be, an ag class is required to be enrolled in FFA. These classes and opportunities provide students with fundamental skills to thrive in life, such as leadership, respect, grit, perseverance, and many other life skills. The agriculture program is setting students up for life as early as middle school, providing them with knowledge of agriculture, animals, livestock, plants, crops, and many more industries falling under agriculture. Agriculture is the #1 industry in Steuben County, and with the loss of Angola's agriculture program, this would provide no knowledge to the student body and how they can make an impact. Angola agriculture classes are funded in part by the State of Indiana. The students in the FFA program then raise money annually to help with official dress, leadership and career development events, trips, and other activities. If Angola loses the agriculture program, the money raised from the FFA events will not be given to the high school, and our FFA members will be donating the funds to local community organizations. Students and FFA members have worked too hard for the money to go to waste. If we lose the program, many students along with me will be pulling ourselves from the enrollment of Angola High School and move to another school in the surrounding area. Agriculture is needed, and students need to be taught. At Hamilton Junior Senior High School, they are also in need and are currently looking for an ag teacher because they realize the importance of the program. An ag teacher is needed at Angola. Agriculture needs to be taught, and agriculture needs to be advocated for. Students are going to be deterred if there's no ag program. Students will be leaving, and funds will be lost. Thank you.
Jackson Clark, FFA. Within our ag program, there is many FFA members. Then there are extra students that are wanting to come into ag classes or join FFA because they want to know what all the opportunities it can provide. With pulling an ag teacher, not having an ag class at all, we won't have those opportunities for students, and we won't have FFA at all. What I've been told at school multiple times is we're still going to try and have FFA without an ag class. That is not possible without an ag class. By taking out ag, you will be just shoving other kids into art classes or advanced manufacturing, and that can just start stressing teachers out and they won't be able to handle it. Then by pulling it, you'll just leave many people wanting to leave, just as my sister said, leaving MSDSC. Thank you.
Thank you for the comments. Any board comments? Discussion.
Troy Sellers. I am a alumni. Angola, graduated in 2000. Been helping with the FFA for a long time. So being when I was in high school, FFA helped me because I thought I was a little bit of a misfit because I didn't play sports. I wasn't active in that sort of thing, but FFA helps you build leadership. I mean, and lifelong skills. Working as a group, it's important. The future of the kids and the program is in your hands. It's important that we keep the program alive. It's, some kid may feel like they're left out and right now, but if we keep the program going and if that helps them fit in and it helps them build character, integrity, and if they come out of their comfort zone, who knows what'll happen to the individual, It may change their life. So it's very important to keep the program going. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board comments? All right. All right, thank you for your comments. We'll go forward.
Can I make a comment? I will tell you this, I don't think there's anybody sitting at this table that wants to eliminate
So, sorry. So what happens if we post for an ag teacher and it comes down to beginning of next school year and we do not fill that position? So what happens at that point with, I mean, we can't continue our classes, correct? Or, I mean, I guess I'm having what happens at that point.
The high school's in the middle of staffing right now, so it's looking at those numbers and seeing where we can kind of carry. Talking to the high school guidance department and Mr. Haven, that those numbers are significantly low. So now it becomes a challenge to look at it. Can we financially and can we kid-wise move forward with those programs? If for some reason we would post these positions, right now it would only be for a half-time ag program, 3-4 periods at the most, because that's what we have it, that's what it would be set up for with where everything falls. I echo the same sentiment that Mr. Reitenauer is. I would love to have about 30 kids in each section for that to really kind of blossom and keep moving on. We are quite concerned about being able to find a licensed ag teacher to look at that. So to play your scenario out, Mr. Sturry, if we couldn't find those, if the numbers don't necessitate that, you as the board are gonna have to direct me and say, either Dr. Wiedenhofer, we have 4 kids in each one of these classes, we're directing you to run that program. If that's what you tell me to do, then we will run that program. The other part comes up to, we need a licensed person, and I think one of the kids said it perfectly, in order to do the FFA, you do have to be enrolled in one of those classes, absolutely. The other part is, if we can't find either or both of them don't, then we look at reshuffling those kids and coming up with options. We're in the middle of that scheduling, so each time that a guidance counselor sits down with the kid, it's, okay, give me your first choice, second choice, and third choice, and we always run through those scenarios. So Mr. Reitenauer can attest to that, as long with Mr. Poor, that, you know, as much as we try to accommodate all those kids, it just depends on what those course offering looks like, their schedules, their requirements, and everything else that goes there.
I know back when I went to Angola, we used to have
Well, it's interesting. I think somebody else said the same thing. One of the conversations that we had today, or that I had today, was talking with the Hamilton, because they're in kind of the same boat as we are. They don't have a teacher, but they have some kids, and they're kind of, we've had that conversation. So now we're back to, can we partner with you? Can you have kids? Can we go back and forth? Is that logistically possible, and some of those kinds of things? We've had some of those conversations, especially with East Side. Hey, we can do it, but we offer this classes at 7 o'clock in the morning. Remember, I got buses flowing all over, so I can give you that opportunity. The bad part of it is I don't know how to get you there unless you're gonna take the kiddos there or some kind of carpool. So we're looking at all those kind of options right now and having them, but we're also looking at our planning numbers, because we wanna make sure that kids get settled too with their schedule. So it's kind of really a dual purpose. Mr. Reitenauer is absolutely correct. That program is not on the block tonight, Mrs. Colmey's resignation, and now it's going back and continuing through some of those things. And I know guidance and Mr. Haven have had conversations with a lot of our ag kids about what's it gonna look like. Are you interested? Are you not interested? Just to kind of field our numbers. And that's what we've been that's the process we've been kind of going through. Does that answer your question?
All right, next up, consent items, minutes from the last regular meeting.
Tell them we'll just continue to look through some of our options and we can readdress it. Can we do that?
Yeah.
I guess hearing what your concerns are, give me a little bit of time to kind of work through some things and look at some options. It may not be the option that you want, because it's just tough decisions no matter, but we're looking at all possible options a little bit. So it may be a little bit of what you want, or it may not be at all what you want, but those are the things that we're trying to kind of go through.
no, I think these kids did an excellent job tonight.
I think so too. They hit it right on the nail, and they were accurate information on everything that we wanted to get. So those are things for us to become incumbent upon and looking at them. And it's really sitting down with kids. And here's the other thing I'll tell moms and dads. We encourage you to sit down with the guidance department and talk about what the future plans are for your children. One of the things is sometimes parents will just simply say, hey, go and set up your schedule and get going. No, mom and dad, you need to be part of that conversations. Diploma requirements have changed. Staffing has changed. Dual credit. There's just lots of changes that you need to be versed in and you got to be able to answer some questions or have questions so that we can get your students scheduled properly. Fair enough? Perfect.
All right, next up, consent items. Minutes from the last regular meeting on March 18th. Any questions?
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
All right, Sarah, would you take the roll, please?
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor, Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Next up is approval of claims. Any questions or concerns about the claims? If not, I'll open a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Sarah, would you take the vote, please?
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Next up is the personnel considerations. Any comments or questions on that?
Board, in your packet, you do have personnel considerations for this evening. We do have retirements, resignations, appointments, and reassignments, and one correction of a title for one of our speech special ed coordinators. Sorry, Ms. Biddle, I knew I was going to mess it up again. But she will be renamed our special education coordinator. That was a mistake in the last one. So I ask that you approve those personnel considerations as presented.
I also have one quick correction. Samantha Newhart will be the elementary instructional coach at Carlin Park Elementary, not at Hendry Park. She's currently at Hendry, she'll be moving to Carlin.
Have a motion for approval.
I make a motion that we do the resignations as stated.
I'll second that.
Sarah, please take the vote.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Special reports. Next up is MSD Teacher of the Year recognition. Dr. Wiedenhofer.
Board, I'm going to do this presentation from the podium a little bit because, A, it's always fun to embarrass teachers. It's kind of one of the favorite things I get to do as superintendent and some of those things. But it's also a great honor tonight to be able to bring to you 6 individuals who have just been outstanding in the way of teaching. These are our Teacher of the Year from each one of our buildings. So tonight, I'd like to brag a little bit about them. I'm going to put them right here next to me, so they have to get up in front of everybody. They should be used to doing some of these things. So we're just going to spend a little bit of time today because it's important. Rossin Hammond, where are you at, Mr. Hammond? Come on up here. Yes, you're first. See? You didn't pay me well enough. Board, Rossin Hammond is our middle school, Angola Middle School Teacher of the Year. He teaches 6th grade social studies and multimedia at Angola Middle School. He has been with AMS for the past 6 years, but has been teaching for 12. Mr. Hammond gained his appreciation for teaching from his father, a former high school math teacher, and his grandfather, a 40-year educator and principal. He loves working with kids and having a positive impact on their educational and personal journey. Rossin says, I love building relationships and spending time with our future leaders and workers. Board, Angola Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Mr. Rossin Hammond. I'd like to next welcome up Jennifer Dow. Did you give those kids an extra credit when I was in your class? No, I didn't. Bummer. I'm sure they'll yell at me next time I see them. Board, I am excited to present to you Angola High School's Teacher of the Year, Miss Jennifer Dow. She's an algebra and AP statistics teacher at Angola High School. She began her career at AHS 6 years ago. Jennifer attended Trine University for her undergraduate degree and is currently taking classes with the University of Indianapolis to earn her master's degree in math education. She was raised in a family with many teachers whom she's always looked up to, and as a child, she didn't play house. Instead, she played school, making her sisters her students as she taught them from the chalkboard in her room. Jennifer says, teaching is everything to me, and having the chance to live out my childhood dream and teach the next generation is a dream come true. Board, Jennifer Dow, Angola High School's Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Samantha Newhard. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Board, it is my honor and privilege to present to you Henry Park Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Samantha Newhard. She is a second grade teacher at Henry Park Elementary. She spent her first year teaching third grade and then moved to first grade, where she has now spent the last 20 years. She has a bachelor's degree from Manchester College. Sam says, teaching to me means having the opportunity to make a positive difference in the lives of students every day. I have the ability to highlight their unique differences and strengths and teach them to appreciate each other as they grow academically and socially. Board, I present to you Henry Park's Elementary Teacher of the Year, Samantha Newhard. Mrs. Lockmiller. Board, I'd like to introduce to you Alexis Lockmiller. She is an early elementary teacher at Pleasant Lake Montessori. Lexi taught at traditional second grade teacher at Pleasant Lake for 4 years. She trained over the summer of 2024 to earn her master's in Montessori education and transitioned to that program this year, where she teaches first through third grade. Lexi loves the opportunity teaching gives her to interact with children, making these impressionable first years of school special and creating wonderful memories together. Lexi says, teaching is my passion. I have always had a love for learning. My favorite part of teaching is empowering the next generation to be kind, compassionate, and successful members of our community. Board of Pleasant Lake Montessori Teacher of the Year, Alexis Lockmiller. Ms. Hartman. You didn't bring glitter with you or anything, did you? Oh, no. Okay. There's a little joke with that.
Keep the glitter to a minimum.
Board, I'd like to present to you Mallory Hartman. Mallory is a kindergarten teacher at Ryan Park Elementary School. She's been in education for 9 years, all with MSD of Steuben County. Mallory received her Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education with reading and kindergarten concentrations from Ball State University. She spends her time showing students that school is fun and learning is exciting. Diving into hands-on experiences that ignite creativity and inspire students to become lifelong learners, Mallory says kindergarten is the best grade ever.
Absolutely.
It is showing little learners that it's okay to take chances, make mistakes, and get messy.
Yep.
Board, I present to you Mallory Hartman, Ryan Park Elementary's Teacher of the Year. And lastly, Mrs. Rao. Are you nervous? Your face is red.
Yeah.
Okay. Board, I'd like to introduce you to Dawn Rao. She is Carlin Park Elementary's Teacher of the Year. Dawn is a fourth grade teacher. She graduated from Ball State University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in elementary education. Dawn began her education path over 25 years ago. Getting old, aren't you? I got the same stuff, so I'm good. She started out in first grade in Florida, and she began her career at the Metropolitan School District in 2010 at Carlin Park, where she taught first grade for 3 years before moving to fourth grade, where she has been ever since. Dawn enjoys seeing the changes and progress of her students throughout the year, and she's committed to helping them have their best educational experience ever, but she also invests in their well-being and happiness. Dawn says, teaching is what I am meant to do. Seeing my students being successful and enjoying school makes all the hard days worth it. Carlin Park's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Dawn Wow. So at this time, my teachers and their plaques, if you come meet us right here, we're going to get a quick picture before we move on. Before we may just get scoot a little bit, come on up here to the front. Oh, we gotta move back here a little bit. Like this. Come back here.
Yep, you're good. Just get on your knees, Roston. Sean, a little bit, there we go. Right, there we go. All right.
Sorry, all. Well, you got everybody lined up nice.
I know. They're used to me yelling at them.
Give our teachers one more round of applause.
Okay, we have no old business on tonight's agenda, so we'll go on to board discussion of verification of average daily membership ADM records. First read.
Board, in your packet, you do have a board policy. This will be a first read for us. This is something that kind of came out of our audit. One of the things the auditors would love to see is just the verification of records. One of their requirements is they'd like to see this brought back to the board once a year. It outlines things like need to have parents come in, need to have a driver's license, need to have a certificate, a birth date, birth certificate, utility bills, and some of those things. So really, those are things that are already required of us from the state of Indiana. We just simply put it in writing for them. So it makes it quick and it makes it easy. This is a first read. I don't anticipate anything changing, but it is one of those things that they asked us to do and put it in our board policy, so we will go ahead and comply with that request. Any questions from anyone? We will bring it again, so if there are questions, we'd be happy to address them, but we'll bring it to you in the month of, at the May board meeting to get final approval for that.
All right, new business. First up is permission to declare books obsolete.
Board, if you remember last year, we took some time with our librarians and really went through the high school and really haven't hit the middle school yet, but spent a lot of time with high school updating our libraries, going through some of those books. Some of those books are older than both you and I all combined in here. Some of the dust was on some of those things, and some of them were falling apart. So Haley Billows and some of our librarians went through there to update some of those things. In the part of that, we did transition some of our elementary books over to Pleasant Lake. Now's the time that we got our secondary done. We're going to start working on our elementary. So Jen Craig is graciously volunteered to work over at Pleasant Lake and go through those libraries. She currently is the librarian at Hendry Park, has that in good shape, but we're also going through Ryan Park. So it's just a good time to go through and purge some of those things. So very much like what we did with the high school, we are going to ask for permission to declare books obsolete. It gives us the opportunity that if some of them are so bad that we can just pitch them. If there are books there that kids are not interested, because we always offer them to kids and some of our teachers for their classroom libraries, but if they don't want them, we can get rid of them, or at the very least, if some of them are pretty decent or off the really obsolete, we'll go offer them to vendors and maybe get a little bit of money out of them, which we then put right back in the library. So we're asking for permission tonight to be able to declare some of those books obsolete and be able to work through them.
Any questions or discussion? Take a motion to approve.
Make a motion that we declare some books obsolete, not all books, so.
I'll second it.
Sarah, take the vote, please.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Next up is out-of-state travel request. Ryan Park Kindergarten to Coldwater, Michigan, and Angola University to Ann Arbor, Michigan.
The board, we do have a few travel requests for you. Again, you are correct. Ryan Park is requesting that permission to attend the Children's Museum in Coldwater, Michigan. They are very excited about making that trip. And then our Angola University kids are making a field trip to the University of Michigan. I asked why not Bloomington, Indiana, but for some reason they were pretty adamant about heading to Michigan. So I put that up there for your permission.
Any discussion or questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion, we go ahead and approve the travel requests.
I'll second.
Sarah, vote, please.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenour,
Yes.
Yes.
All right, next up is acceptance of funds from the Steuben County Community Foundation.
We are very fortunate to have a great working relationship with Jennifer Danick and her team at the Steuben County Foundation. One of the things that they do a great job of is really kind of supporting us in and out versus financial support or just manpower and those things. One of the things that I am seeking permission for is to accept $14,600 from them. This money will be earmarked for the Early Learning Center Montessori certification. So for those teachers who have ongoing training at Trine University for their Montessori and continue to get professional development, these funds will be used to offset those costs for teachers so teachers won't have to pay out of their pocket. So I'm very fortunate to have that relationship with the foundation, and we are very grateful. So I ask for tonight that you accept those funds.
Any questions? Not, entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion, we accept the funds.
I'll second that.
Sarah, take the vote, please.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
All right, next up is textbook approval. Dr. Ray Lou just got rid of some books, now we gotta get some new ones.
Gonna get some new ones. Board, in your packet, you have a recommendation for 3 additional texts, 2 for dual credit U.S. history and 1 for dual credit government. These are books that will be approved by the university as part of the course approval, but we are asking to have authentic texts to go along with primary sources the teachers will use for these 2 college courses.
So these are actual textbooks, these are not licensing for on their.
These are not textbooks, these are more like novels, and each student will have a physical copy of those books.
Any other questions or comments? Not, entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenour,
Yes.
Yes.
All right, next up is the Digital Intervention Training and Implementation Grant. Dr. Ray Lou.
Board, I'm requesting your permission to apply for and accept the digital learning grant from the Indiana Department of Education. This grant will allow us to request up to $50,000 in licenses for a product called Core 5 by Lexia. We are using that program for the first year right now in our primary grades, and our teachers are seeing great success with that. They would love to continue it, and we would love to have funding to be able to continue it. So I'm asking your permission to move forward with this grant application.
Any questions or comments? If not, open to the motion.
I make a motion that we go ahead and apply for the digital learning grant.
I'll second that.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. S-
Yes.
All right, last on the agenda is for the new business, Mr. Haven's Global Travel Program proposal for Angola High School.
I want to first thank the students, folks today. They did a very nice job speaking. It shows quality program that they did for FFA and for agriculture for speaking in front of a public setting like this. Not easy to do that, so they did a very nice job. And I would echo comments of the board too. Hearts in agriculture, but we got to make decisions with our mind. I wish we could make decisions with our hearts, but we always got to look at our mind and make decisions from there. So, but you guys did a very nice job. I'm very proud of what you've done tonight. So thank you for that. For global travel, we had two teachers come to me and talk about traveling overseas, and I spoke to them about that and said, what are exactly you looking at? They explained to us that we're looking at a travel to Paris, Normandy, and London. This is a great opportunity for our students to look at other countries and look at some of the stuff they're learning in class, some foreign language, some history, and other things from actually going to those places, going to Normandy, going to France, going there and actually seeing these events and seeing that and talking to that. Interesting, one of the teachers was even a math teacher to look at the Eiffel Tower and look how that was structured and use that as math. So there's a lot of different scenarios they can cover on this trip. The trip would not happen until 2027, spring break of 2027, giving families plenty of time to raise money for that. It is an 8-day trip over there. Looking at least 6 students per chaperone. That's the expectation. And I should have said we are partnering with EF Tours. That is a company that does tours with a lot of other schools. It's one of the biggest in the country, if not the biggest. I did a similar tour like this, and when I was at another school corporation in China, quality program, nice job. They do a great job. They've done this with other schools. This trip is actually one of their cheapest and most popular trip that they have over there. So bringing it to the board to go forward with this opportunity. After this point, if the board agrees to this, then we would have a call-out meeting for students to then see how many students are interested in this, and then we would then train staff members. I have 2 staff members. I actually had 8 staff members, 2 of them which that would want to lead this program and be the lead person for EF and our students in traveling across on this adventure right there. So I think you got a packet of information there. Questions about this that I did not.
So many students before they would even consider taking this on. I mean, we have to have 10, 15.
6.
6 is max.
Starting with
We
6.
have to have 6.
6 and then a chaperone. Then when they get another 6, another chaperone. Then another 6, another chaperone. So I think it shows on the back page less than 20, it'd be a certain amount, but then more than 20, then the price goes down a little bit more from there. So, and we talked about opening this up to other schools, other people in the other schools are in our community, in our county for this, to have them the opportunity, and it's open to adults also. So if there's adults that are interested in this, they can do this also. Again, talking from my own personal experience, my mom did this, took a trip to Italy, went her hometown when this offered there. So this is open not just to our students, but also to adults for there. But for students, it's a 6-to-1 ratio that we need to have.
If the corporation approves this, do we accept any liability?
We do not. It's like an outside club where it's at. Travis and I have talked about this extensively. Tell them the countries in which they would be traveling to. Do you know that?
England and France, where they're traveling, and they have, and what we would have a tour guide and a travel specialist. Okay, so they have 2 people for us. The tour guide would then tour people around. The travel specialist will set up the insurance, information, the flights, booking, the meals, the hotels and all that, make sure all that's accommodated for. When I did this before, we had someone, our hotels were booked, our meals, everything was timed right to the minute. In the packet, you see every day planned out, you know, plan out everything. And
High school only?
right now, it's a good question. That's a really good question. I have to check on that. When they look at students, so I will have to ask about that. I'll have to ask.
Mr. Reitner, I would tell you this is pretty much past, this is really common practice in other places, other school districts that I've been to. Some of these are great experiences. I highly endorse some of those things, especially when I know the countries. I know sometimes the climates outside the United States get a little bit iffy, and I think talking with that company and Mr. Havens, we felt quite comfortable with bringing it to you for your recommendation or if you approve of it. Talk to us a little bit about fundraising and the cost.
So they
Good thing.
Just going to say, this is kind of French.
Don't tell her
We
it's
haven't
funny.
had one for a while.
Yeah.
We haven't had a trip like.
Any other discussion? Entertain a vote then? Motion for a vote?
I make a motion, we go ahead and approve the trip.
So if we approve this, this will be in place every year after 2027 then?
Yes,
Okay.
actually, on page 5 of this, we're looking at 2027, if that goes well, then the next year they're looking at Greece and Italy, and the following year they're looking at possibly a Costa Rica Explorer. So EF has many different tours, and there are some for middle school, but then other places too. They even have in-country tours too, of Washington DC and everything. So this is kind of like the first one we want to kick off.
But you want to continue on with this?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And we plan these out, like I said, we're looking at 2027
Yeah.
for that. So we're gonna plan that out because right now, a monthly charge for a student would be $158. For an adult, would be $184 every month to do that. I mean, the total cost is $4,000 for an adult, and I think $3,000 for a student. But if you spread that out over time, it makes it much easier. And also fundraising.
And that includes airfare and
Airfare, hotel, meals, tour, up in the, all the places, everything. That's everything.
that's cheap.
That's everything.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Take the vote, please.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Mag,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Future meetings. All meetings will be held here at the Floyd McCutcheon Administration Center. Future meetings are May 20th, June 17th, and July 15th. All will be at 6 o'clock here. Superintendent's report.
Board, I do have a few items just to bring you aware of, or make you aware of, rather. First of all, this is iLearn testing week, so our elementary teachers have been busy along with kids, knuckling down, working on those tests. They were getting after. Had an opportunity to kind of walk through some buildings, very, very quiet. Everybody was focused and getting after it. So they're going to be ready for a break, but, you know, good luck to those kiddos and to our teachers. They've certainly worked their tails off this year, and we expect super results from them. Tonight, you had the opportunity to see 6 great individuals, our Teachers of the Year in those buildings. We were excited to be able to do some of those things. I give credit to Mr. Wagner and Dr. Relu for kind of helping facilitate that and get that going. Next month in May, we're going to bring you classified personnel from each one of those buildings, plus a bus driver here to recognize them next month. So we are excited to be able to bring you that. Just a reminder, prom is right around the corner. If you haven't seen our website, promposals are very evident out there. Mr. Havens has 3 candidates out there that have done some pretty unique things on asking their date to prom. I would encourage you to take a look at those. But I also want to take time and give a huge shout out to Officer Lanou and our first responders. Today, outside in a very cold day, we did what we call mock crash for our high school kids. It was the opportunity to show kids what could happen on drinking and driving and kind of some of those results. I refused to be put in handcuffs. I thought that might be a bad look. So we had some other folks who did some of those things and were able to kind of show some injury. So it's always a very powerful thing when kids can see that. So we had a number of first responders who gave up their day off to come and do that with our kids, and that says something. So we very much appreciate Officer Lanou putting that together.
I also was talking to a high school student when they had, Mr. Havens, they had a young lady come and talk to them who had lost her twin sister in a horrific accident. That hit home with kids. And being a parent, a grandparent, great-grandparent, it was very, I don't know what the right word, to have her come when she has experienced this herself and those kids. And he said the first thing she told him to do was close your eyes and imagining not having your best friend with you ever again. It just, that was, and I mean, it's a freshman. And he was telling me about it and he said, Grandma, it was unreal. So something like that, thank you for bringing somebody like that in there, because it said you could hear a pin drop in that gymnasium. It was very quiet, they were very attentive, and somebody real like that young to understand that. I hope and pray they can take it to heart. Thank you.
Who is the youngest person in here tonight? You? What's your name? Trey? Trey, you've been a very good boy here tonight. Thank you for attending. Anybody else? Any other comments?
Hey, Steve, you have somebody you'd like to?
Yeah, I just want to thank the board for approving our next school's basketball coach. We have Kayla Walker with us tonight, her husband LJ, and obviously you just heard from Trey.
Okay.
Kayla comes with great on-the-court experience playing basketball herself at college at Weber State. And she has coached the last 8 years at Eaton, Ohio as the head girls basketball coach there. We're excited about the future of our program. Welcome, Kayla.
All right.
Can we further assume that Trey's going to be
Yeah, a lot of big personalities and a lot of people have had a big part of the MSD over the years retiring, so wish them a long and happy retirement. Anybody else got anything to say? I won't get on my soapbox about the state and everything going on there, but to the FFA families, thank you for coming in tonight. I grew up on a 100-acre farm and had more than mud squeezed between my toes. So hang in there with us, and we'll try to do the best we can. With that, I take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Mr. Beard? Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes?
Mr. Poor?
Aye.
Mr. Ridenour?
Yes.
Yes.